As we head toward summer, there are no signs a ferry line between Burlington and Port Kent, New York will be running this year. It's actually been 4 years since the line last operated. And while the Lake Champlain Transportation Company calls it an indefinite suspension, many are wondering if the service will ever return. ABC 22's Sam Israel looks into the issue.
The last direct ferry service line from Burlington to New York's North Country was back in 2019. Ever since, the ferry service line has been suspended. With its 4th year in a row being closed, it's leaving many wondering if the ferry service line will ever reopen.
It was kind of shocking not to see it. It was a lot more lively down here. You had the restaurant, customers were taking the ferry, across a lot. Not so many commuters, it was mostly tourists.
Phil Collins lives in Florida, but grew up in Burlington. And in 1989, while attending Champlain College, he worked on the ferry that ran between the Queen City and Port Kent.
It's beautiful. That's half the reason why the tourists and the Burlington people would take the crossing. Sunshine on the water, the mountains. They had a snack bar, souvenir shop on the ferries.
Collins is now back in town visiting his mom. He went to the waterfront to reminisce on his college days. Except when he went to look for the ferry, he couldn't find it.
I'm kind of bummed, a little bit sad, kind of melancholy not to see it. A lot of memories down here.
And it's not just Collins who wants to see it back. Leaders on both sides of the lake do as well. But in New York, Chesterfield Town Supervisor Clayton Joseph Barber doesn't see it happening.
I do know that there's not a chance that it's going to reopen. From what I've been told, they're making a boat marina there, and they have a small boat marina down in Port Kent, and they plan on making that larger.
Barber says small New York towns are feeling the effects.
We definitely don't get as many people coming to town.
Burlington Mayor Muriel Weinberger says the city would support the ferry reopening.
That route certainly was enjoyed by visitors to the city, and there was and locals, especially people trying to use bicycles to kind of get around the lake.
We reached out to Champlain Ferry Transportation and were told, quote, the Burlington to Port Kent, New York ferry will remain closed for the immediate future due to declining ridership and the ramifications of the pandemic. When we asked in a follow-up email about the possibility of the ferry permanently closing, we received no response. The Grand Isle to Plattsburgh ferry, along with the Charlotte to Essex ferries, remain open. In Burlington, Sam Israel, ABC 22 News.